This is Coco McCabe, and I'm one of the writers here at Oxfam. I was in Chicago a couple of months ago with my colleague Ali. He's from Syria. I know you've been hearing a lot about the war over there and how hard it is for people, but that's not what I wanted to tell you about. I want to tell you about Chicago and why we were there. We met some of the most amazing people, driven, hardworking, and doing so much for their kids. One of them was Suzanne Akra Salul. She's a total dynamo. She's the founder and executive director of a group called the Syrian Community Network. It's based there in Chicago, and it's a close ally of Oxfam's. We care about the same things, especially people's dignity, and finding a way to make sure that the Syrian refugees who resettle here in the U.S. are welcomed and embraced. That's been tough. There's so much xenophobia out there now, and racist rhetoric. It's our job to stand up against that stuff, to refute the lies. Advocacy is a key part of the work you help us do. It goes hand in hand with the life-saving support you fund for refugees. And that's why we were in Chicago, to meet with Syrians who have newly settled in the U.S., to hear their stories, to set the record straight. Of all the trips I've taken for Oxfam, and I've been to some of the most troubled places on earth, this one, right in my backyard, was among the most heart-wrenching and also affirming. That's because of the people I met. People like Faris Shawish and his wife, Rehab Al-Kadi. Faris told me he had been a doctor in Syria, and Rehab worked at Damascus University. They had a good life there, but it's all gone now. Their careers, their home. What was amazing, though, was their attitude. They are so determined to start over. You should have heard how proud Faris was when he told me how quickly their young son is learning English, especially the hardest part, the P. And here's Batul Taha. She was just shy of 18 when I met her. A church group had pooled their resources so Batul could go to the Art Institute of Chicago for a summer program on fashion design and illustration. Her smile as she showed off her drawings blew me away. What I loved about Samar Asaf was the way he threw himself into everything in front of him. He's 20. And because he had no proof that he actually had finished high school, he was set to enroll as a junior this fall. Kids were telling him he was old enough to be their dad. He just laughed. It seemed like nothing was going to get in the way of him fulfilling his dream of going to college. It's been a divisive season politically, but the steady support that people like you have provided has been critical to the lives of refugees, critical to the survival and dignity of people like Samar. Toward the end of the visit, when I was driving Samar home to his family's apartment, he was singing quietly to himself in the back seat of the car. It was so beautiful. After a little pleading, he let me record him. That song, it's a love song, has been playing softly in the background. I'll turn it up so you can hear the rest. And thanks for listening. والله ما أريده باليني بلوى